And it's just crazy to hear when people talk about her that she gets pigeonholed into this.
Honestly, I think that's probably because they're like me. They've only seen 2 or 3 movies, and they're like, oh, this is what she does.
Hello there.
Hello?
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast, All of the Movies, where we discuss, well, all of the movies. My name is Emily, co-host here along with Erinn. We have been best friends for over a decade, traveled together, lived together, and have shared the same enthusiasm for all things movies. So we decided to start recording our movie conversations and create a joint YouTube channel, now podcast, to share with all of you guys. Thanks for watching or listening, and let's get into this week's episode.
Hey, hi, hello, how are you? Out in the cyber universe places. I'm Erinn, co-host here at the channel All of the Movies with Emily, of course. And today we're going to be talking about the lovely Kate Winslet because it's her birthday. But before we get into...
Another Libra.
What's that?
She's a Libra.
A Libra, another Libra. Very cool. That's awesome. And something that I definitely didn't know. But yeah, before we get into this week's episode, just wanted to make sure that you guys know where you can find us. Obviously, if you're watching this, you know you can find us here on YouTube. We're also available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and all the other places where your podcasts stream, thanks to our friends at anchor.fm. Yeah. You want to just...
And on Instagram.
You can, I mean, you can't watch the podcast on Instagram, but you can chat with us on Instagram.
Teasers and
we do little fun things on Instagram. And on Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter, but we're not really that active on Twitter.
Are we posting on Twitter?
No.
But
we're on Twitter. So, I mean, for clarity, we are there. We're on Twitter also. So in the meantime, you can follow us there. And if we ever decide to post, you'll be the first to know because you'll already be following us. Right?
Truth.
Yeah.
Truth there. Yep.
But definitely Instagram.
Yeah, definitely there. We post, well, at least, there as often as possible. But
yeah. But for the full episodes, YouTube, all the places where your podcast stream, we post once a week, or at least we're going to try and keep that string alive, posting once a week. So you can on YouTube turn the bell notifications on so that you're updated whenever we post new content. Yep.
All right.
Cool. So like I said, it is
happy birthday.
Yeah, it is Kate Winslet's birthday today. I mean, we're filming this early, so it's not today, but when you're watching this, it's today. So in honor of that, we thought that we could kind of dedicate this episode to her, talk about the movies that we both have seen her in, or one of us has seen her in, and just kind of celebrate her career. So quick bio on her, some factual little tidbits. She was born on October 5th, 1975 in Reading, England. And she started acting at the age of 7. So child star who actually kept it together, which is, a win.
Wow.
She got her start in stage acting and then moved on to film. Her first film was Heavenly Creatures, which I have not seen. I don't even know what it's about, but that was her first film. Her breakout role was in 1997, and everyone could probably guess what it is. Titanic. And that is the movie that launched her career into outer space, basically. She became a superstar. She's known for turning down the straightforward pretty girl characters in favor of the more devilish damsels, as it's been coined. And her acting career has run the gamut from Shakespeare, modern day mysticism, to romantic comedies, everything in between. IMDb shows some of her acting credits in erotica and stuff. She's been in all kinds of stuff. She's got over 65 acting credits to her name, so she's got chops. And has 5 projects right now in some level of production. So
yeah.
Happy birthday, Kate Winslet. And yeah, we're going to celebrate you a little bit.
Yep.
Yep. So just from my perspective, I think I've probably seen more films than Emily has. Of
notice
Kate
why
Winslet's
I'm
been
not talking very much right now, because I've seen her in 3 movies. That is Titanic, Divergent, and The Mountain Between Us. The only 3 I've ever seen her in. Which is crazy because she is a household name.
Yeah.
So you would think like I would have seen more movies, but no, only 3. And one of them was by accident because it was just like on.
Which one? Titanic? Was that Titanic?
No.
Because that would be really upsetting.
So that one I actually wasn't allowed to watch when I was younger. And then even though we owned the VHS, like double set.
The 2, yep.
Yeah. So we owned that, but I wasn't allowed to watch that when I was younger. And I didn't end up watching Titanic until I was like maybe 17 years old.
Yeah, I didn't even know that the second like tape existed. Well, I mean, I just thought it was like the same movie, just on it. Like, you have to rewind them. So if you don't want to, then you could just have the because we were never allowed to watch the second tape.
So you never knew that the Titanic sank?
Okay, Phoebe and Friends, like, I never knew that, Old Yeller dies at the end. Like, that's that episode where she hates PBS. That was me with Titanic as a kid. I was allowed to watch it with, like, shielded eyes during the paint me like one of your French girls scenes and stuff. But I never knew what actually happened at the end of the movie until I was, I want to say 16, 17, 18 years old when I watched it on TV. Oh, wow. And I still, like, they cut so much out because it's a long movie.
I think the first time I watched it, it was on TV, and it wasn't like HBO or something. It was just like straight up TV. So like I never knew that, like, you see her boob. Like you see it, nipple and all.
Yeah, she's not afraid to show skin at all.
Props to you. But
although, to be fair, I guess it could have been a double.
I don't know. Like it
I'm trying to. I don't
really
like
well.
have
and
like a mental image of that scene in my head to know if you like see the whole. You know what I mean? Her face in frame too.
How I'm remembering it is that they pan like up her body to her face.
Movie magic.
So, I mean, movie magic.
Done it before.
1997, though.
I don't know. It's James Cameron. He's pretty.
I mean, I guess, but it would have to be
before. It's been they use body doubles all the time.
Well, yeah, Game of Thrones, Cersei, when she's walking down naked, that actually isn't her. They just pasted Lena Headey's head on her person. Body.
Yeah. So it's definitely. Although knowing now that she's been in like erotica, it was probably her.
I am 100% sure it was her. Okay.
Yeah, it was probably. I mean, it could have been a double, but it was probably her.
It was probably her.
Yeah, but I'm the same. I didn't know like what happened at the end of that movie.
Well, see, I knew what happened because
you knew what happened. You just weren't allowed to. Well, yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, you know the history of it, but I'm talking. You just don't know the history of you don't know because
characters.
Let's be honest. The characters were not. Like 100% true to history with the Titanic. So
I watched it on TV, and I don't think I watched all of it because when I watched it again, I never realized that she throws the gem back
the heart of the ocean. Yeah.
And honestly, that made me more angry than there was enough room on the raft kind of thing.
On the door. Yeah,
on the door.
Well, so I have watched, because someone got so into this that they posted a YouTube video of like the science behind the door And they were like, there was room, but had she let Jack up onto the door, they both would have sank under the freezing water because of the buoyancy and how heavy their combined body weight would have been. So, and I was like, wow, dude, you have way too much time on your hands. I just,
right. He did the
it's for story's sake. He is her heart, and he's in the ocean with the heart of the ocean. They're, the gem and Leonardo DiCaprio are together forever. There's some kind of beautiful symmetry in that.
Boo.
It's tragic.
I was okay.
Not every movie can have a happy ending.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't have been a happy ending. Leo could have died,
it would have been unfulfilled, I think. Yeah.
Jack could have died. But like poor what's his face, Bill Paxton's character. He's trying to find this thing, and she had it all along.
The whole time. Yep.
And she just drops it in.
Those are little noise that she makes when she throws it overboard.
Oh, it's sad.
I mean, I to be honest, I think I probably knew that happened before I ever watched the movie, because doesn't Britney Spears, it's like the movie where the old lady throws the thing over the boat in the end. Britney Spears has that lyric in one of her songs.
Are you talking about?
She absolutely sings about it. Come on. Is it Lucky?
What?
Is it Lucky? Britney Spears. Come on, audience people. Comment. Let us know.
I mean, I don't doubt that
overboard.
Somebody's had some cultural references to it, but Britney Spears?
I'm pretty sure it's she's so lucky, she's a star. I think it's that one.
I'm not.
Maybe it's not. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with anything. But I'm pretty sure that Britney Spears. There is a Britney Spears lyric that talks about that
awesome
scene specifically. So,
can I just say, what's his face? The bad guy who tries to use
Billy Zane.
Yes,
mm-hmm.
Billy Zane.
What a jerk in that movie. Oh my goodness.
So
and not like a redeeming jerk either.
No,
he's just a butthead.
To the very end, he's just rude.
Mm-hmm.
But that was one that I was like, why? Because Billy Zane, I love Billy Zane for The Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
He's such a good guy. That when he played that role, I was like, but no.
Especially if it's not your first movie that you've seen him in.
Yeah,
like exactly. If it's the first movie you've seen him in, then every movie after that, you're like, he's a good guy now. But if Titanic is the first movie you see Billy Zane in, you're like, what? He's such a good guy. Like, how can he be this horrible? He's a terrible human being in that movie. Yeah.
Yeah. He acted it well.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to think how she got the stone, right? It was in his jacket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't even know. So
nope. Well, until the end, he mentions, he was like, it was in the jacket.
It was in the jacket, right? Yeah. Serves him right.
Right.
It's all his fault. The iceberg. It's all his fault. Global warming. Everything. Blame it on him.
Yep.
That's what we got to do.
Blame it on the.
Blame the villain.
Billy.
Blame it on the. Blame it on the Billy.
I'm sorry.
That was terrible. But yeah, so a movie like that, right? You've got Titanic, which is, it's one of the top grossing movies of all time.
Yeah.
It's her first breakout role. It's the one that launches her career, and it still holds up all these years later. Like, I could still watch it easily and enjoy it just as much as I did, the first time I ever actually watched it through. Right. I feel like it's definitely got that nostalgic thing too, because as a kid I remember watching the parts that I was allowed to watch with my cousins at my aunt's house, and just having a good time watching this horrible story. It's really sad, but we were like, yeah, we're little kids, so this is the Disney abridged version of Titanic. And I loved it. I am a huge fan of Kate Winslet's. I haven't seen nearly like the most insignificant percentage of all of her films that she's been in. Because like I said, 65 acting credits to her name. And I think I've seen maybe 7 of the movies that she's been in, but every one has its own unique character, and she's got chops. She crushes every role she's in. She commits 100%. She is brilliant. I remember watching like behind the scenes footage of the dancing scene in Titanic, and she does that dance that's below deck, like up on her toes and whatever. Like that's her.
Well, that's cool.
And it's not like Tom Cruise stunt level, but that's looks like it would hurt. I mean, like she's got that. She commits 100%. So I give her a ton of credit for that. I think that a lot of people kind of force her into this romantic comedy kind of box because of some of her movies that have come out in like the last 10-ish years. But even those movies where they are, your quintessential romantic comedies like The Holiday, where she's with it's Jude Law, Cameron Diaz, Jack Black, and her are the 4 like leading characters or leading actors. And that movie, even, she's not your typical, goody two shoes or girly girl or whatever. She's this powerful executive, and she's very much a devilish damsel, and it's just crazy to hear when people talk about her that she gets pigeonholed into this.
Honestly, I think that's probably because they're like me. They've only seen 2 or 3 movies, and they're like, oh, this is what she does. Because like the 3 movies that, I don't know, the 3 movies I've seen, they are all quite different, because you have The Mountain Between Us, which Idris Elba and her, like, that worked. It worked so well. I actually really liked that movie.
Yeah, it was an interesting movie.
But, that's like a survival movie in snow and,
Yes, it's got like a romance at the heart of it, but it's still not,
Yeah. It's not a romance in like a Titanic way. It's more of like you have like they're bonded through this trauma that they've both experienced, and they have to trust each other and develop that trust and everything like that. So that was done really well. But you have that movie, Titanic, which is like a drama romance, and then
like a true love kind of romance. Yeah.
I don't know. They were young.
Yeah, but I mean, they're like this. It's like a Romeo and Juliet,
Yeah, which not my favorite Shakespeare, but
Shakespeare.
I hate Romeo and Juliet.
Do you really?
I hate it.
I've seen every version of Romeo and Juliet ever made. From
right,
when I was
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that one. Oh, with Claire Danes. Is that who plays Juliet in that one?
Yeah, Claire Danes, and then you got John Leguizamo, and
that's a great movie.
Oh man, so good. But yeah, Romeo and Juliet. No, give me Ophelia or Midnight Summers. Wait, I always get the freaking title messed up.
I was gonna say
Midnight Summer's Dream. Right?
Now you've got me confused. Summer's Night Dream. Yeah, I was like, a Midnight Summer's Dream is not right, but I
something like that.
Couldn't picture what the actual title was. Yeah.
Hamlet.
She's in Hamlet. She's in a film version of Kate Winslet. She plays Ophelia in the film version of Hamlet.
Is it the one with Mel Gibson?
I don't know. It came out in 1996. I've never seen it. I just know that she's in that one.
I think it's Mel Gibson who plays Hamlet. But that
Kenneth Branagh is the one who plays Hamlet in that one. Oh. So not the Mel Gibson version.
Nope. Well, okay. But anyway, so and then Divergent. The other movie I've seen is Divergent. And then that, maybe it was just the character she had to play, but I didn't like her in that. And that's
awesome. I love not liking her in that movie.
Yeah, I guess. And that's why I say maybe it was the character, like she was acting to the character and I just didn't like the character. But in my head, I was
It's
like,
Kate Winslet.
it's Kate Winslet. Like I don't know. I think I made the connection of like, this is what I imagine her to be in real life.
Ouch.
Like, I don't know.
That's such a burn. Oh my
I
word.
know. And I don't know why I have that bias. Cause like I said, like I've only seen 3 films,
Right.
but my connection
It
of
takes you
what
back
she's
to
like
that movie.
personally,
and,
yes. Yeah. And so I'm just like, I don't like her. Not that I have a reason not to like her, but I don't know. I'm like,
I understand that, I guess. There are a few actors that I feel that way about, where I've seen them in a movie and it's just like, no, you seem like a stick in the mud. And so I just don't want to like you in anything else, because you just seem kind of crummy.
right. But then you see her relationship with Leonardo DiCaprio, because they have had like they're besties and they have been since Titanic. They were also in, and I want to watch this movie, Revolutionary Road.
Amazing movie.
They were in that movie together too.
Amazing
and
movie.
I want to see that because I did like their connection in Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that would be a good movie just because they are love interests.
Yeah, I would say the 3 movies that I would rate Kate Winslet's like chops and her range. Number 1 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind with Jim Carrey, which also chops. Talk about acting chops. That guy, he is so underrated as an actual actor. He's, The Mask. He's Mr. Funny, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and that's all people see. But the 2 of them together in that movie, incredible. Kind of a weird movie too, because
isn't that the one where she has the blue hair?
Yes. Yeah. Well, she's got
or blue tips.
She's got like multiple colored hair because it gets flashbacks and stuff. But the movie is basically, they are love interests there that at the end of their relationship, and she goes to have all of the memories of him removed. And so he decides, that's what I'm saying. It's not like
what
everyone thinks it's this like total normal movie. It is not. It's so good. And the soundtrack is incredible. It's such an amazing movie. I was surprised you haven't seen it when we were talking about doing this episode. Right up your alley.
Bizarre and like sci-fi.
That's why I kept saying, watch this movie. Like, if you're gonna watch any movie of hers, to me, that's the one to watch. It's not Titanic. It's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. The second movie for me would be probably Revolutionary Road, just because it's just a well composed film, and it shows. There's not a single movie that she's in where it's a lighter role than another. Like I said at the beginning, she goes 100% in every film she's in. But especially if you like her chemistry with Leonardo DiCaprio, because they definitely have it, on screen and off. They're best friends practically. So they've got that. Yeah. It comes through whether they intend for it or not.
What I read this somewhere, and it's been a couple of years, but I'm pretty sure they were on the red carpet together doing an interview or something, and I think it was Kate who mentioned, she was like, Leonardo is the love of my life, they're just, and also like I read somewhere that that they would text each other like during films, like they're best friends, like they keep in touch, they text each other. And I think it was when he was doing The Revenant.
Oh,
is that so when he's like out in the cold and just miserable, she would send pictures and like little emojis of like him freezing.
Jerk. What a friend thing to do. A
I was
friend is
like,
going to be like,
wow.
"Oh, I'm sorry you're miserable." A best friend is going to be like, "Haha, I'm on the beach having a Mai
Sucks.
Tai and you're freezing your butt off."
Right, exactly. Oh man. And then like just her reaction to him winning his first Oscar.
Yeah.
Pretty sure like when they panned over to her, she was like crying.
Yeah. Yeah, and they just have a really awesome off camera chemistry and relationship. And
Yeah.
so seeing their and that's the other thing, seeing their um chemistry like evolve from Titanic when they were both such babies really
Yeah.
to all these years later in Revolutionary Road. It's a great movie. I think you would enjoy it. It's definitely not your genre, I wouldn't say, but I still think you would enjoy it, especially if you like them together.
Yeah.
Um
I
and
think
then
didn't he give her away at her wedding
I don't know. I
to
don't
her
know.
third husband? Because she's
I don't
been
know.
married 3 times. One of them is to Mendez. What he is a producer, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh man, yeah, he's done some stuff. I think that was her second husband, but yeah, she's been married 3 times. Her
Okay, hold on 1 second. Sorry.
second or first. Do 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 do
Sorry.
do
If I
do
didn't go in there and get my
do.
dog, she was gonna freak out, break the door down. Okay, we can get back into it.
Okay. So, yeah, it was her second husband, Sam Mendez.
Sam
He
Mendes. Okay.
Yeah, Sam Mendez, not Sean. That'd be creepy.
And
Um,
Impossible because
yeah,
he's like,
illegal.
well, yeah, that too.
But yeah, so he directed, I'm pretty sure he directed Daniel Craig in the first two, no, Spectre and here, let me look it up so I get it right.
Oh, James Bond movies.
Yeah, the James Bond movies, Spectre and Skyfall.
So second and third, because
Yeah,
Skyfall was after Casino Royale, right? And then Spectre
yeah,
was the third one.
yeah. He directed those ones. And oh, cool. He was the producer on Revolutionary Road.
Oh, well, there you go.
Fun facts, man.
There you go.
I love when that happens. But then they got divorced in 2011. So
There, Hollywood is just chock full of romances on film sets, and then as soon as the film is over, so is the romance. Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, anybody. I mean,
they were always a weird match, anyways.
well, yeah, because she's like 9 feet taller than him.
She's totally better with Keith Urban.
Keith Urban, who she's also 9 feet taller than.
It's kind of a weird duo too. But
I remember when Keith Urban and her got together was also like right around the time, I don't know why I remember this, but literally the same time that Kenny Chesney and Renee Zellweger got together. And I just remember going, what?
What?
Like, are they just trying to be the Walmart version of Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman right now? Because they are, I did not understand that pairing at all.
What you ordered.
What you got. Exactly. Their relationship and marriage, because they got married at the same time, lasted like almost as long as Kim Kardashian's. So, yeah. That has nothing to do with Kate Winslet, but
no,
it's just an interesting thing that just sticks in my brain. But yeah, I was gonna say the third movie that shows her like her true acting chops would either be The Reader or The Holiday, because as light as The Holiday is, she is incredible in that movie and completely steals the show. And to be fair, anybody acting alongside Cameron Diaz, it is hard to steal the limelight from her because she is kind of electric on screen.
Yeah, she's
and just
a ball of
big
sunshine.
Personality, and
that smile.
But she totally, exactly. But Kate Winslet is by far the best part of that movie, and she's probably doesn't even have as big a part as Cameron Diaz in that movie, because Cameron Diaz and Jude Law kind of hold the central story in that one. But they switch houses on holiday. It's really good.
I've heard of it.
It's
and
really
I've seen
good.
the trailer, and I meant to watch it, but I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
I'll have to check it out.
I would recommend it. It's a chick flick, but it's a good one. It's not, it's not like gushy chick flicky where you just have a bad taste in your mouth after watching it.
Before we wrap this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about her upcoming projects, because I know that she's producing, I think, a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
And
she's also acting in it, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's the movie, right?
Yes. Lee is the movie that she's got coming out.
Mrs. Moore.
Mrs. Moore.
Miss Moore.
Sorry. Mrs. That's my mama and my sister-in-law. That's right. There are two now.
Wow.
That's very strange.
There's
awesome.
more Moors.
That almost was their hashtag.
I love it.
It was this close to being their wedding hashtag. How are we living in a world where wedding hashtags is like a totally commonplace thing?
Right.
I love it. I'm here for it. But it's just
I'm gonna have mine.
What is yours?
Did you see? So his last name is Ferrer. So it's like
Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not too crafty when it comes to those things.
Ferrer.
Yeah. Ferrer. He's Spanish.
I'll think about it and get back to you.
From Spain.
From España. From Barcelona.
I'm cultured.
Spain. Yes.
I've been to Spain.
I'm getting married to someone
I haven't been to Spain.
Who's been to Spain. I'm cultured. Yeah, Eliza Schlesinger. This is a plug for her, by the way. Watch everything she's in on Netflix because
then you'll get our inside jokes when we do.
Yeah. She's brilliant and hysterical. Watch her.
Okay.
But yes, back to Kate Winslet really quickly. While we're on this topic of her, because it's her birthday, so we should
happy birthday to
stick
you.
to that. She's got two, like I said, she's got 5 projects in production at some level right now. 2 of them, though, we want to point out because they sound really cool. Mm-hmm. The first one is a movie called Lee, and it's supposed to come out. It's in pre-production, but it's slated for like 2022, I think it said, which could change because, again, it's barely in production. But she is cast as the lead title character, Lee Miller, and it says that it's the story of photographer Elizabeth Lee Miller, who was a fashion model who became an acclaimed war correspondent for Vogue magazine during World War II, which sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome, yeah.
Like girl power, like that sounds like an awesome movie. I've never heard of Elizabeth Lee Miller before.
Me neither.
I didn't even know that this like historically was a thing, but it sounds awesome, and I'm there for it. So will be definitely keeping tabs on that one. Yeah. It's going on my watch list for sure. And then the TV show that she's got in production is called Mare of Easttown, Mare of Easttown. And like Emily said, she's. Do you know about it?
No, when you first mentioned it before we started recording, I thought it was like
Mayor.
Mayor
of Easttown. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's cool. But mare, like a horse.
Yes, Mare of Easttown. Yes. So she, like Emily mentioned, she's the executive producer and acting in the show, and it is slated for 2021, so next year. And it says on IMDb that the little synopsis says it's a detective in a small Pennsylvania town investigates a local murder while trying to keep her life from falling apart. So sounds...
I like murder mysteries.
Very interesting. Yeah, I'm always down for a good murder mystery, especially a TV show. I don't know why they just play better.
Yeah.
But it looks like they've started filming this one. I'm trying to see if it's what level of like production it's in. But HBO is producing it, so
oh, cool. That should be
very interesting. I'm looking forward to it. They've got their full cast. Yeah, it looks like they filmed 7 episodes. So I don't know if it's like a mini series, something like
a limited series.
Yeah, like a limited series, or what was that TV show that Matthew McConaughey was in on Showtime, or True Detective? Is that what it's called? Yeah, so it could be something.
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson was in it.
And then they had Colin Farrell and whoever.
Exactly, this in the second season. So it could be something like that. I don't know. I didn't recognize any of the other names in the cast right off the bat, but it sounds like a really interesting, just off the synopsis alone. So those are 2 of the things that I'll definitely be keeping my eye on. And hopefully, now that you've heard a little bit about Kate Winslet and kind of how her career has not just been in
thus far.
Yeah, but just the fact that she's not just, a romantic comedy. She's not just a one-trick pony kind of thing. Hopefully this will...
One-trick mayor?
That was so funny. Oh my goodness, that was so funny. Yeah, hopefully this, kind of sparks an interest in some of her films that she's already done and some of the stuff that she's got upcoming.
I know it does for me. Like,
definitely does for me, but I liked her already, so.
Yeah. But no, I'm gonna check out a few of her movies, especially Endless Mind, Spotless Mind.
Spotless Mind. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Download the soundtrack, number 1, because it's probably one of the top 10 movie soundtracks of all time. I'm not kidding. The score is nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. And the acting is brilliant. 2 people who I think are pigeonholed a lot in their respective, genres.
Right.
Yeah, they're incredible, both of them in that film. So that's like a top tier movie. I would definitely recommend it. Yeah, this is probably an episode that is, or at least this format is something that we might do or probably will do in the future, as there are birthdays every day, especially of famous people.
Right.
So we'll probably do that in the future. Let us know who you would like us to celebrate when it comes time for their birthday. One of your favorite actors or directors or whatever. Maybe it'll be somebody that neither of us are very familiar with or love or don't like or whatever. I'm always keen to expand my knowledge and my just kind of geekdom over movies and stuff like this. This is the kind of content that I really like, is diving deep into a particular artist and seeing kind of what they bring to the table.
Right.
Especially
when they're lesser known.
Yeah, some of their lesser known stuff, or sometimes if they're not really well known for a particular type of movie or whatever. I think it's always really interesting to just see that they are artists and they have the
breadth of work.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. Well, this was Kate Winslet.
Happy birthday, Kate. If I can call you that. Miss Winslet. Great. Katie. Yay.
Anywho's it. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching or listening. And next week,
it's game time.
Oh yeah, it's game time.
It's game time. Yeah, that was my bad on the game time that we were supposed to release. Actually, it should have been last week that we released it, but we had a little recording snafu. That was my bad.
Okay. That's okay. We'll have a new list.
So we're going to record that for you guys again, and we had a good time recording it the first time. We just wish it would have actually recorded.
It came out. Yeah. So we'll have that next week. We'll explain what it is at the beginning of next week's episode. And also, before I forget, we had homework to do from last week's episode, and I
totally didn't do it.
I didn't do it.
Yep.
You didn't do it. So you know what? It's going to be on next week's episode. And that homework was, if you didn't see last week's episode, our homework was on the new live action Hercules. We were going to give our 2 picks for Hercules and Meg, who we would like to see or who we think is going to be well in those roles. So we'll have our picks next week for
Promise.
you.
Promise. In the meantime, let us know who you would pick for Hercules and Meg. We said that last week, and maybe you could do your homework because we're so obviously terrible at doing our own.
Hey, I haven't been in school since.
I know, I was just going to say, like, it's been a long time since I've been in school, and every time I think about going back, it's the homework that makes me stop. And I'm like, no, I think I'm good.
I like homework. There's been so much going on.
I do not like homework. I've never been a fan of homework. It's terrible. If I didn't have to do homework for school, then I would have gone way further than an associate's. Like, I would have been a doctor. It's true. It's true. That's one of the reasons that I was like, no, too much. Can't do it. Don't want to. Don't want to play. Yeah, peace out.
Peace out.
But I will do this homework. I will do this homework.
Peace out.
Promise. Yeah.
Bye. We need like a group term.
I like the bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Well, should we like do the whole follow and subscribe and stuff? Because we don't really do that.
We can do that. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe. If you want to turn on the bell notifications, do that on YouTube. That would be great. Engagement is awesome.
Wow, care a little less.
No, but seriously, like we would love to have you join our movie discussions. Let us know that we're not all crazy here, okay? Okay.
Yeah. If you're watching this on YouTube, the bell notification, click the bell to be notified. It's right next to the subscribe button. So while you're there, also subscribe. And then you'll know whenever new content drops. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you can follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple and Google, and you will also be notified whenever there is a new episode.
Okay, bye.
Bye.